house was built by my great-grandfather, Oliver DeMille Sr. Oliver DeMille Sr. He had two wives that lived there. One was my great-grandmother was Almina Beale, and the other wife was, I don't know who she was.
Okay.
They had a big family, and they divided into halves, and Grandpa's family had about 10 children, most of them boys.
So
my grandpa lived there till he was probably married.
Oh, so he grew up, basically grew up in here.
Yeah, he grew up here. He was born here. And there was a trail that came off a hill, and I don't know which hill. This Mr. Roundy told me when I had my patriarchal blessing that they used to take their cows and their horses up on top. And he said one night, somebody, and I can't remember who, was coming down, and it was pitch black, and their lantern went out, and they stopped, and then he said that this man told them, it was one of the DeMille boys, that a light came in front of the horse and guided them all the way down.
Oh, really?
And they had all these fields and lived here till the floods drove them out. They bought the property from a chief, Indian chief, whose name was Shuns, and so that's what they call it, Shunsburg.
That's why it got its name. Do you know how many people lived up here in Shunsburg?
I don't, but I probably got it in a book somewhere.
Trying to think of other questions. Do you have any other stories up here of your...
I don't, except I imagine they were pretty well cramped in those.
Well, if one wife had 10 kids.
The way people used to live.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had...
Well, if that one wife had 10 kids, the other wife probably had...
She had about 7, I think.
Okay, so that's 17 kids. Okay. Do you have any...
Most of them moved to Rockville when they got flooded.
When it flooded. Do you know what year it flooded in here?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, that's good.
My dad was born in Rockville, so they still lived in Rockville when my dad was born.
So he lived here till he was married.
1903, so I imagine it was about 1900 or something
when it flooded.
Okay, it was told that Freeborn and his boys were digging a water line, and they came to one of these huge boulders, and the boys said, "We've got to go around this," and he said, "No, go right to it." And when they got to it and got digging, there was a hole went right through the rock, and so they just put their ditch to there, and started on the other side, and they didn't have to move the rock.
Oh, really?
Because they would have had to have dynamited the rock out of the way
to get it around. That's interesting.
That is the tale.
Okay, that's good.
It wasn't Freeborn, it was Oliver, because Freeborn stayed in Manti.
Okay. This is on the north side. Seeing the rafters, the floor, or on the west side, I mean. An old tractor implement. Walk around one more time. South side of the building. This is inside. All hand carved rafters. Floors are still here. Replace that piece. Some of the old doors are still there. Hand carved rafters. Replace the roof. Pretty interesting. This is a ton of work and ton of time. What would it take to build this? Old stairs, old rafter floors.
How'd you like to put all the work in making a big house like this?
Man.
Have it wash, your fields wash away and you have to move.
Man, that would have taken a lot of time. A lot of work. Really nice. See the rafters, fireplace. I don't know, I've seen it, but it doesn't come all the way through, or at least.
Oh, doesn't it? You think it's a dinner bell? No.
It might have been something to mount something to.
Well, look at those boards that come out. I'll bet you they had
It's over there.
a big lean-to, big rooms for sleeping out.
What's that?
But then there was rooms upstairs for all of them to sleep. We made them
Yeah.
to sleep upstairs.
See, the floor's just falling
And when
in
we was here
upstairs.
before, there was a big hallway. Remember, there was a stairway going up in that one room. They don't have that anymore. So it's a little bit different. Well, I'm glad they put a new roof on it.
Maybe we could have one of these guys have us take our pictures or something. One side or the other side. Here, you guys, kids, come over here. Let me pause.